Hello, it looks like we're live. And I just need to go close the blinds, so I'll be right back. Okay, that's better. Hello, hello, and welcome. We'll get started here in about 5 minutes or so um, for this comeback yoga class. But in the meantime, I'll share with you a reading from the iRest program for healing. Sense your body and grow your brain. Every part of your body has a connection to your brain. Taking advantage of these connections, modern neurophysiologists use sophisticated equipment to stimulate nerves deep in your brain to produce relaxation in your body. By practicing iRest, you can also take advantage of these brain body connections to achieve deep states of relaxation. During iRest, you generate deep relaxation by practicing body sensing, systematically moving your attention throughout your body. This iris tool stimulates these very same nerves that lie deep within your brain and produce profound changes in your physical body, brain, and emotional and mental states. Body sensing and the other practices of iRest work from the outside in, from your skin to your brain, to affect changes from the inside out, from the brain to your skin, so as to produce deep relaxation and physical release from tension, stress, and mindful meditation practices such as iRest, produce structural changes in your brain that are involved with enhancing memory, learning, gaining perspective, and regulating your emotions and thoughts. By regularly practicing body sensing, you create changes in the structure of your brain that soothe your nervous system. You can grow your capacity to respond rather than to react to stimuli and therefore heal. Relaxing into your greatness. iRest incorporates a number of approaches and techniques for inducing deep relaxation through your body and mind. These approaches and techniques include progressive muscle relaxation, autogenics, and the relaxation response. So, we will do a little bit of progressive muscle relaxation today at the end um, of the lesson. We'll just be a few moments of doing that. So we'll be starting here in just about a minute. All right. Well, I've got top of the hour now. My name is Tonya. This is Comeback Yoga, all levels class. We're a nonprofit organization based out of Denver, Colorado that serves veterans, active duty military, and your support team. Today's all levels class is about 45 minutes long, and we're just going to be working with some generalized um, practices working on some strength and mobility in the lower body, particularly the hips and the legs, ankles, and feet. That is the lower body, right? Okay, so without further ado, remember to do what you can and work with what you've got today and track sensations along the way. Get familiar with your own surroundings as well as mine. I have a floor plant over here and then a group of plants here. You'll need a yoga mat and some water to get going today. All right, so we're going to start on our back. So you can have those feet flat and the knees bent or straighten out the legs, whatever you like. Give yourself maybe a little support for your head if you like. And we'll just take a moment placing the hands on the belly. And as you breathe in, breathing in and down, and then with a long exhale with an audible sigh. 2 more times, just like that. Inhaling through the nose if the sinuses are clear, and exhaling. Last one. Now we're going to make another sound. It's a voom. Voom. So on the next exhalation, let's do it together. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling. Voom. 2 more. Voom. And last one. Voom. Good. And now noticing the effects of that voom sound on your body. Maybe slower relaxation response. All right, wonderful. Let's go ahead and bring those knees into the chest, moving those knees forward and back. Lift your head and shoulders up to your knees. And then placing one leg down to the floor and hug the other knee tight into the chest. And then straighten that leg to the ceiling and circle your ankle. Other direction. And then bringing your knee back to your chest. And taking that leg down to the floor, switching sides, hugging knee in. A little bit of pulling in to activate your digestive system. And then go ahead and straighten out your leg and circle your ankle. Other direction. And then bringing that knee back into your chest. And taking your leg down to the floor. Both legs stretch out nice and long. We'll bring both arms alongside of the ears as you point your feet away from your nose. And then exhale, lower your arms down and flex your feet towards your nose. Let's keep going. A big inhale to stretch your body long. Feel the full length of your body from toe tips to fingertips. And exhale, lower the arms down and flex your feet. Let's keep going. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, contract. So you're feeling that extension, maybe feeling the contrast between the movements. We'll do 2 more. Stretch up and pull in. One more time. Great. Okay, you bring both of those legs back into the chest. Lift your head and shoulders up. And then come on down. Now you're going to bring your knees right over your hips. And you can either hold on to the back of your legs or keep your um, hands even on the shins here if your arms are long enough without your knees being right up into your chest or too far away that you feel a strain on your back. We want to start to activate our core here. So uh, we're going to make a shushing sound, just like you're trying to quiet uh, a small child. Let's do that 2 more times. If I start to feel how your abdominal muscles are engaged, and you may not need to hold on to your legs anymore here. So let's try it again. Here we go. One more time. The strain shouldn't be going in your back. Keep that exhale going out as far as you can, far as you can. I know this is hard. Let's go ahead and see if we can hold those abdominal muscles. And now we're going to send one leg out, straight out, not up, not too low. And but if it's put strain in your back, then it can go up high. Okay, so let's bring the leg back in. So here's the sequence. Exhale, and send one leg out. I'll go all the way in to the end of that exhalation to bring your leg back in. Here we go. Other side. Focus on your abdominals. Again, if you feel your back straining, then don't go out as far or as low. And let's keep going. You can have your hands on your legs for challenge, create some resistance. Just keep going at your own pace. I know this is hard, yogis, but we got to have strong abdominals so that we have good stability in our practice and in everyday life. Keep going. One more time, each side. It's all going to be worth it. Okay, good. Let's bring those knees in, lift your head and shoulders up. Okay, and then place your feet down. We'll do a bridge pose here with the feet out about hip distance. Your arms are going to follow. So let's bring the hips up, take those arms alongside the ears, and lower those hips down and lower the arms down. Now think about one vertebra coming up off of the floor at a time. So inhale, taking those hips up, and one vertebra at a time coming back down. So good stretch for the back, but it's also kind of firing up your backside here. Feeling that contrast of the opposites. So the stretch on the front as you come up, and then the stretch on your back as you come down. Let's do 3 more times. Your arms are moving at the same rate as your hips, and you're breathing with each movement. So there's a breath in and a breath out that simultaneously flows with the movement. One more time, last time, yogis. Let's bring it up and down. Excellent, excellent. Let's take a moment, let those knees fall together, the feet go out wide. So we're kind of woke up, right? We're woken up our body, maybe feeling a little bit more energy now. So we're going to roll to our side. And before we go on to our standing poses, let's do a little bit of hip work. So we're going to wake up this hip here. You're going to keep your feet together. You're going to lift one knee and lower it down. Let's lift and lower. We'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Okay, let's bring those, let's come onto our stomach, I should say. Kind of a little crawl here. Oh, a good stretch for the stomach. So you're going to press your forearms down. They're going to be parallel to the floor. And you're going to, this is our Sphinx pose. So we have 3 different variations of our back bends. You can have your forearms like so into the Sphinx. You could also bring your hands behind your shoulders for a cobra, or you can push yourself away from the floor for an upward dog. So those are the 3 variations that I showed today. All right. So meet yourself wherever you're at. Okay, let's press up and back into a child's pose. Those knees are going out wide, your feet are maybe toes coming together, and just get a nice stretch for your back. Of course, it's going to stretch your ankles here as well. Just a quieting pose before we move on. 3 more breaths here. Big breath in, stretching out the back. The last one. All right, folks. Let's do our side work on the other side. Now, you could also do this from tabletop and the knee going out to the side. I'm showing it from the side today. Takes less strain off of the wrists. So we're going to bring those knees up tight. Keep your feet together, and we'll lift up and lower. Lift and lower. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, yogis. Let's come on back into that stomach, that belly down kind of back bend here. You can find that Sphinx. You can find your cobra with the elbows bent, or push yourself up away from the floor for an upward dog. All right, let's all meet in a tabletop position for a little bit of upper body work. Okay, and then we're going to come to our standing poses. So come forward and then bend your elbows back, press back up, and then move towards the heels. So you want to have those elbows bending back. Your shoulders end up in front of the fingers. Press up and then back. Your fingers are wide. Let's do 3, up, back. If you want more of a strengthening, you come actually into a plank and then kind of a crouching downward dog, like so. One more. All right, let's all press up and back into a downward dog. So those fingers are pressing down, those hips are lifting up. If you want to, you can bend your knees here. You can also step your feet as wide as the mat for if you're tight in the legs. Stretch out through the upper body. Big stretch, whole body stretch. There's a lot of effort in this, and that's okay. We're going to come out of this in one more breath. All right, walk your feet and hands together. Wherever you land, that's where you are. And then bring your hands to the back of your legs. Draw yourself towards your legs. You can have your knees bent a lot or a little or none at all here. Just as long as they're not locked and they're not hyperextended. All right. Bend your knees a lot now. Look forward and we'll come up to standing. Adjust that outfit. There's always some adjusting. And take a look on what's out in front of you. Notice what's on the wall. Notice the texture. Notice any colors. And then taking a moment to take that in. Call it out. And now notice your feet underneath your body. You can look at your feet. You can just sense them from the inside. And notice the whole length of your body. If it feels okay now to close your eyes and feel those feet underneath your body. You feel your legs stacked over those feet. You feel your hips connected to your legs, connected to your feet. And then you can feel your torso, your upper body, your arms, and how they're connected to your torso. And then you feel your hips and the torso connected, your lower body connected, your feet supporting your whole body. And then you notice your head, maybe moving it forward and back or side to side. Notice how your head is connected to your shoulders, connected to your arms, connected to your torso, to your hips, to your legs, and to your feet. Notice how all of it's connected. So you rise up tall. Breathing in from the bottoms of your feet, visualizing that breath coming up to the top of your head, and then back down to your feet. Visualizing movement of breath all the way up your body to the top of your head, and then exhaling back down to the bottoms of your feet. One more time, inhaling, lengthening, feeling that breath move into the top of your head, and then exhaling down to the bottoms of your feet. Beautiful. Now, if your eyes were closed, go ahead and open them. How'd you do? How'd that feel? That's nice, huh? All right. So, from the front of your mat, maybe not to the very front, but somewhere back behind, about a foot distance, facing that short edge of the mat, turn your palms out. Bring those arms up overhead, maybe pinkies touching, maybe looking up to the hands. Lower your hips back and down for a chair pose. And then let's rise back up into a standing pose. And then exhaling, lowering your arms down. Inhale, stretch those arms up. Again, maybe looking at your pinkies, look maybe to the ceiling. Exhaling, arms coming down. Two more times. Inhale, stretch up. Maybe you feel okay to come up onto your tippy toes. And exhale, lower those arms down. One more time. Big breath in as those arms stretch up. And exhale, arms come down. And this next one we'll add chair. So inhaling, arms up. Exhale, those hips come back and down for your chair pose, reaching up to those arms. So this is also called thunderbolt. And you can kind of see it's like a thunderbolt, like from the cartoons. Reaching those arms up. All right, fold forward over your legs, straightening those legs out. Now use your hands, press away from your legs, long spine, looking down at the floor. Fold back over your legs, head towards the toes. Take your hands to the floor and step one leg back, stepping it nice and long back. You can have your hands under your shoulders here now as you look forward. Get a big stretch there. Now, the front knee, you're going to turn towards that knee as you sweep that arm up towards the ceiling for a twist. Take your hand back down. Let's lower this back leg down to the floor. Maybe point your toes, push down into the shin and the top of the foot. Take one or both arms up for a crescent lunge. Big stretch there. Now bend your elbows out to the sides. Bring those arms back up overhead and lower your hands back down to the floor. Straighten out that front leg for a runner's or a hurdler's stretch. You can walk your hands back. You can use blocks here. All right, coming forward, lifting your back knee up off of the ground, and then push off or slide that foot in, however you want to get there, coming into a forward fold. It gets easier over time the more you practice. Press yourself away from your legs again, and then come back to your legs. Hands to the floor. You're going to step the other leg back. That leg goes back into the lunge. Wiggle back or hop back. It's a big lunge here. It's a big stretch for those hips. All right. Turn towards your legs. Stretch the fingers up. Stretch the arm up. And take your hand back down to the floor. If your hands don't quite reach the floor, again, I didn't say, but you could use blocks. Okay, we'll bring that back knee down to the floor. Point your foot. Push into that front foot for stability. And then one or both arms come up for a lunge. A little wobbling is to be expected. All right, good. And then send the hands back down to the floor and pause. Straightening their front leg for that hamstring stretch. And breathe. 2 more breaths here. Great. And then come forward and bring that back knee up off of the ground again and step forward. Hopefully, we're starting to get a little bit warmed up, huh, yogis? Okay, press away from your legs. Just feel that stretch in those legs, and then fold closer to your legs. Bend your knees. We're coming back into that thunderbolt position. So the arms come up. You want to make sure you can see your toes. There's a little bit more weight in the heels, but not so much that you feel like you're going to fall over. And then here we go, coming up to standing and lower your arms down. All right, folks, let's do another round each side um, with maybe a challenge to keep the knee lifted in our crescent lunge. Hopefully, we're feeling warm and feeling confident in our bodies and in the movements. Okay, here we go. Arms sweep out, palms lift up to the ceiling. Look up if that feels okay. With your next exhale, lower those hips back and down. Again, you're using the strength of your legs as well as your core. Tip forward, coming into a fold, straightening those legs out a little or a lot. Press away from your legs so your spine is long, your torso is long, and then come closer to your legs. Hands down to the floor, framing your foot, stepping one leg back. So, option is to bring that knee down for the twist. Otherwise, keep it lifted. And if you want more of an intense twist, you're going to bring that same arm forward. So, this leg, you're going to reach it forward and then bring your elbow across this time instead of just sweeping your arm up. So, those are two options. Okay. All right. Take your hands down now, framing that front foot. So, now you have the option of lowering your back knee or keeping the knee lifted. Gonna come up onto your front thigh, get stable, feel that stability, check in, and then one or both arms comes up overhead. That's a big stretch. Okay. All right. Taking your hands down to the floor. Option is to lower your back knee down and straighten out your front leg. The other option is to come into pyramid, just moving your front leg straight. So my hands reach the floor. If your hands don't quite reach the floor, you can grab those blocks. You can also keep your heels lifted on that back leg to go straight into your pyramid pose. So those are your options, pyramid or that hurdler stretch. Okay, let's step forward, coming into our forward fold, bringing those feet hip distance, and then we'll do the second side. So fold over your legs first, pull those legs strongly, and activate your core, your abdominal muscles, and that will give you a stretch for your back. Now let's press away from our legs and come closer. All right, your other leg goes back into a lunge. And then here's that twist option, hand coming onto your thigh, arm reaching across, maybe elbow onto your thigh for that twist. Or you can just open your arm. Your back knee can also be down on the ground. All right, folks, take it down. Okay, here's your option. Lower your back knee for crescent or follow me. Coming up, use your hands for support and stability. Find that stability. And then one or both arms come up. Check in with your balance here. Check out what's in front of you. All right, hands coming back down to the ground or to those blocks. And then here's our pyramid. So you can go straight in that front leg or can go straight in the front leg with your knee down. So those are options. All levels here, right? Okay. All right. Nice work, folks. Let's bring it forward into our fold again. Press away from your legs. And then use your hands, pull yourself closer to your legs. Maybe your knees are bent. Pull in to get that stretch. Get some traction there. Okay, arms coming out wide, look up and come to standing. And then lower your hands to your sides. All right, we're going to work our way down to the ground for some more hip stretches. I told you today was all about the legs and the feet and the hips. So I'm going to honor my word here. All right, so let's come into our chair first. Arms sweep out and up. Those hips come down and back. All right, wonderful. Take it down to the ground and then step both legs back one at a time or hop into plank pose. And taking your knees down lower to the floor and then lift up for your cobra or press away from the floor for your upward dog. And then come back down to the ground. All right, let's do a little side bend here first. So you're going to walk your torso over to one side. So keeping your feet where they are, legs where they are, just going to do a little side bend. Open up that outer side as you stretch your arms past your mat. Reach up, get a nice side bend in that waist, low back even. Two more breaths here. Keeping your hips and shoulders on the ground. All right, and then let's go to the other side. Upper body stretches across. I've kind of run out of room here, but your arms can be straight or bent. We'll take about 5 breaths here. Two more breaths. All right, let's come back to center and do a little Sphinx pose here. And then coming down, we're going to stretch our quad. So you can bend one knee and reach for your foot. If that's not available, roll to your side and bring your knee into your chest first. Grab your ankle and then move your leg back behind you. So that will be the most easiest way to access your ankle. And then if you want to, you can challenge yourself. You have a hold of your ankle and you can roll to your stomach like so. And we'll hold this for about 5 breaths here. So track the sensation on your leg, on your quad, and your hip. And we'll take 3 more breaths. You can add a stretch for your foot and ankle by actually grabbing your foot and your toes. You can even curl those toes back. All right, release that. Notice the difference from side to side. And then let's do the other side. So I'm going to roll to my side. My knees come up to my chest. I'm going to grab my ankle or shin here and take my leg back. So that's going to be a really nice stretch right off the bat. If you feel like you could do more, get more of an intense stretch, roll to your stomach. I'm more of a flop. and come onto your stomach if you like. If you like that extra ankle stretch, you can draw your heel closer with your foot. And we'll take 3 or 4 more breaths here, depending on the duration of your breath. But we will attempt to make our inhales a little longer and the exhales a little bit longer. Backside is engaged to increase the intensity of that sensation. Last breath. All right, folks. Let's come up to a cobra into a tabletop. And then you're going to drop both knees down to the floor, 90-90 the legs here. And your back foot, you're going to bring it in kind of to your hip here. You can point your toes if that ankle will allow, or you can flex your foot. So your foot can be flexed or pointed, whatever is available. We're going to come into a pose called the stargazer pose. So your hand comes out kind of in line with your hip. You're going to press your feet, your shins down, move your hips forward, and take your arm alongside your ear. So if you push down into your back shin, you're going to also feel a nice little quad stretch here. And if you want more in the upper body, you can open your arm back behind you. All right. And then lowering those hips down. Take this leg straight out to the side. If this knee feels okay, you can keep it bent. You can also bring it more out to the front, elevate it with a block or a blanket or pillow. So, with this side bend, we're going to push into the straight leg to rotate our torso around, looking maybe over that back shoulder, that outside shoulder. And then your arm comes up and stretches over your straight leg. So, it's not going to be a forward fold, it's going to be a side fold. So we want to reach this arm up. Don't worry about literally folding in half here. Just want you to bring your arm up and stretch it out and up. That feels okay on your shoulder. You could also take your hand to your shoulder or leave your hand on your hip if your shoulder kind of hurts there. But we're going to now then lengthen out. So it's not again a fold in half, it's an extension, extending our torso. For 2 more breaths. Ah, doesn't that feel good? All right. Wonderful. Come on up. Oh, okay. Now we'll bring this leg forward. So this foot can stay here, or if it bothers again your knee, adjust your positioning. You can also sit up on a pillow here. So we're going to start out with a little bend in the straight leg. So it's no longer a straight leg. Okay, both arms come up and then reach over to grab your toes. You're going to stretch those toes back, pull those toes back, get a nice stretch for the bottom of your foot. Lift your torso, and then you can send your leg a little straighter and maybe a little straighter. And maybe your leg goes all the way straight, maybe it doesn't. And at this point, maybe now you want to relax over your leg for about 3 more breaths. All right, that was it coming on up. So we'll untuck this leg and switch sides for our stargazer. So your heel comes in. That's just as tight as your knee will allow. You can also flex or point your foot. You can even bring your leg back a little bit here. So hand coming out in line, more or less with the hip, and then lift your hips up and let's stretch that top arm. Big side bend here. And then coming on down, take the leg straight out to the side, turn towards the bent leg, and then reach your arm up overhead. Two more breaths. Mm. All right, good. I love me those side bends. All right, bring your leg forward. And then we'll start out with that big bend in the knee so that we can reach our foot. So you're going to reach your arms forward and long, grabbing your foot. Pull the toes back, lift your chest, and maybe send your leg a little straighter. And just get to a point you're just tracking sensation along the way as we come into a fold. All right, last breath. And rise all the way up. All right. We're going to do a brief little seated meditation here. So you can cross your ankles, you can sit on a cushion. It's 1 minute. And then we're going to come onto our back and finish up with our stretching. But while we're still sitting, I just wanted to do this now. So here's what I want you to do is I want you to place one hand onto your chest and another hand onto your abdomen. So for 1 minute here, we're going to breathe. So with your next inhalation, think about this breath coming into your belly and your hand. And then exhale, just gently press your hands against your body. Keep that breath going out as long as you can. And then inhaling, lifting up tall, feeling your body moving into your hands. And exhaling, slowly letting it out. We've got 2 more of these. Inhale to lengthen out. Sit up tall and then exhale. You can even sort of round a little bit here, feeling your hands pressing against your body as you let that air out, 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 out. Last one, inhale to expand and exhale to release. Good. All right, release those hands. Nice work, folks. Let's come onto our back now for some final stretching, some twisting. Grabbing the back of those legs and roll yourself down. Knees coming up to the chest. Now take both legs into the air, and then you're going to cross your legs. So one leg goes over the top. And then from here, you're going to bend your knees. So your heels are coming down towards your bottom. And you can maybe hold on to your knees and draw your knees tighter into your chest. Grab onto your shins, your ankles, or your feet. But just explore some additional sensation here as you draw those knees in. All right, and let's switch sides. So legs go up, crisscross, and bend your knees. Flexing those feet, draw your knees in. Just kind of explore that sensation where it might feel the most rewarding um, without there being any strain. You want to think about how you're breathing here. Are you holding your breath? Or are you breathing? Oxygen is a really important factor in getting blood flow to those tight areas. So if we're holding our breath, it's limiting the process of hydrating and healing, and just relax your tongue. Wonderful. All right, let's release those feet down to the floor and as wide as the mat. And windshield wiper your legs side to side. All right. And I'll let those knees fall together. Turn your head to one side and bring your arm across the shoulder. So you're going to look at your hand, stretch in the neck here. Let's go to the other side. And come back to center and straighten out your legs if you like. Otherwise, you can roll to your left side. Let your head maybe come onto your bottom arm or a cushion. And we'll finish off the class here. So being on your left side can be really calming. So if you're feeling maybe a little anxious, unable to relax, then come to your left side or onto your stomach. Or if you prefer, of course, to be sitting, you can. So we're going to be here for just under 5 minutes, and I'm going to be sitting up to take you through just a brief body scan and exploring of opposites. So as you drop in, just now notice your tongue and release it away from the roof of your mouth. And now I'm going to put some words out there for you, and you're just going to notice how they land, and we're going through them pretty quickly. So just describe or just notice the subtleness as well as the intensity. Hot, cool, edgy, calm, cranky, peaceful, irritable, relaxed, frustrated, at ease, angry, peaceful, livid, unperturbed, furious, unruffled, enraged, tranquil, cold, warm, heartbeat fluttering, heartbeat steady, anxious, calm, fearful, courageous, terrified, brave, paralyzed, responsive, helpless, engaged, numb, and thriving. Warm, cool, comfortable, uncomfortable, relaxed, uneasy, smiling, frowning, pleasurable, painful, happy, sad, glowing, contracted, joyful, miserable. Now just noticing what you feel in this moment. Maybe welcoming your inner resource, a felt sense of well-being and ease. And take 3 deep breaths here, welcoming in and softly letting out all the way to end of your exhalation with a relaxed tongue. Relaxing your tongue as you breathe in and relaxing your tongue as you breathe out. One more time, relaxing your tongue as you breathe in and relaxing your tongue as you breathe out. Now letting that go and returning to the sound of my voice, returning to the surroundings that you're in, maybe the sounds in the room, colors, textures, maybe blinking those eyes open and closed to make your way up to now a seated position if you're ready. Otherwise, you can stay there if you're in the comfort of your own home. And I just want to thank you all so much for being here today, staying with it all the way to the very end. Good job today. Thank you so much. Be well until I see you next time. If you have the means to donate, we accept your donations. Otherwise, do what you can, and we'll meet you there. Take good care. Thanks for coming.